How's it going, guys and gals? My name is Beckett, and welcome back to another Beckett React. Today we are going back to Jubilee and back to Middle Ground. My favorite series of all them all, and a series of this channel I'm enjoying doing. Today's Middle Ground video is climate change activists versus skeptics. Can they see eye to eye? Now, I am an agreeer in the fact that the climate change, in this context, I'm an activist of it. I believe it exists. I believe it is a real thing. I believe it is a thing that needs to be dealt with rather soon. My only, apart from hearing things on the news and stuff, which you could say is not a very good source, but the one thing that I could say that I believe in it is the fact that mainly the temperature and stuff, like in the last few years, I have noticed the subtle changes in like summer temperatures and how hot the fucking hell it's been getting each and every year. So yeah, that's my baseline. But I am an activist. I'm a believer in it. Well, an activist, but I'm a believer in it. And so, without any further ado, let's get on with this, and let's have a look to see what they say.
In the reference of landfills, okay, maybe you don't have to pay for it now, but in 20 years when they're full, you're still going to end up paying for it. So why push that responsibility onto someone else?
But don't you think the citizens have a right to decide if they want to go along with this?
I don't think that citizens have the right to be wasteful more than someone else.
My name is Don. I am a professor of geology and a professional climate scientist. I've published in the field for many years.
My name is Andrew. I studied environmental science policy and management. I'm a consultant that specializes in sustainable tourism.
My name is Natalie. I'm a local government consultant, and I believe that anthropogenic climate change is real.
My name is Michael. I'm the vice president of a nonprofit that concerns itself with the threats to Western civilization.
My name is Dr. James Enstrom. I'm a physicist and epidemiologist, and I'm passionate about scientific integrity.
My name is Keith Hardeen. I'm a constitutional rights activist, and I'm concerned about the future of the next generations.
May I please have my activists to the left and my skeptics to the right? I believe global warming should be our #1 concern.
Who works for? When was this made? So I mean, because 2019. Well, at the moment, it should be a concern, but probably the one in most important concern, because right now there is another very important issue and a concern, which persists to a virus, deadly virus that is going around and killing a lot of people right now. But I think in general, I think among many things, it should be at the forefront of discussions. Like I think it should be if not at the very top, like around the top, like near the top, like in top 5 maybe. That's yeah.
There's obviously a lot of issues that our politicians deal with and that as a society we can care about, but if our Earth is moving in a direction to where our species cannot survive, then homelessness, then all of the other issues that are out there are going to be irrelevant because we won't have a place to live.
I agree that there are many issues that are important at the local level, and we are not doing a great job with a lot of things. But things like extreme droughts and extreme heat waves and devastating hurricanes and tornadoes are going to make life harder on us no matter where we come from and no matter what our economic background.
Really, if you want to look at it as an issue of health, I don't see why everyone wouldn't be concerned and everyone wouldn't be participating in ways to reduce the impact of climate change or reverse global warming.
No matter what the United States does, it's not going to make an impact on the worldwide greenhouse gas emissions as long as China and other parts of the world are increasing the greenhouse emissions. It puts the United States at an economic disadvantage when we try to transform our lives, and the other countries just simply ignore these efforts.
The United States seems to be the most held responsible for the global warming, for doing something about it. And that's what bothers me. You know, we have a constitution, and nobody ever considers that constitution the importance of protecting the natural rights of the individual. And I think global warming is an infringement on those rights. When I say global warming, at least the agenda of the political aspect of it.
I think it's time to change how we live. I really do, which we have seen how changing our habits, changing the resources that we use and what we pump into the air, and how we reversed that hole in the ozone. We've seen how it can change, and we can change it, but we're going to have to make changes.
Well, I don't believe that climate change is our biggest problem, because I don't believe that man has anything to do with it. Climate has changed since before man existed on the planet and will continue.
Okay. And one more. Okay. Let me ask you something. Person who I've forgotten the name of. Ever heard of a thing called the Ice Age? Back in the day, you know, with like, ever seen the film? Or ever heard or seen of the film's Ice Age? That's based off a real thing. It's based off back in the time when literally the Earth would have ice ages. Do we get that here now? No. Yes, it can get bloody cold at times. And it has also, again, it's rarer in at least in like countries here like the UK. It's a lot rarer in more recent years. But also, I think it's snow. When it's cold enough, it snows. And for the last few years, it hasn't really snowed all that much compared to when it used to when I was younger. So, to say that the climate change wasn't already a thing, but because of those climate change before man, yes, there was climate change before man but obviously that was a natural climate change. It was because of the fact that it was naturally going hot and cold all the time. But it was maybe not as hot and bloody cold. And because we're pumping all these gases into the air, it's because of that we're warming up the planet, and the planet can't get as cold as it used to get because it's got all that hot air trapped inside the atmosphere. Sorry, that one set me off. Do you not remember the Ice Age? We haven't got this anymore. Why? Because of this. Alright. Sorry.
When man is gone.
As a professional climate scientist who's done this for 50 years, I'm afraid you're not correct. The climate evidence is very, very clear. And probably the clearest evidence of all comes from ancient records where we can actually see what the planet was like before humans were involved. This is why climate scientists, 99% on almost every study...
Exactly what that guy said. Exactly what he said. Before we were even here.
Climate scientists shows that we're as unanimous as the scientific community ever gets, and that this evidence is real, and that it's happening, and it's happening on every scale, from the ice caps to the ocean. Every place we look, we get the same answer.
No, I'm not a climate scientist, but I know a lot of them. And I've heard exactly the opposite argument made. Thousands of scientists just in the United States signed a letter saying man has little, if any, effect on climate.
But
so
they're all
clearly
climate scientists. That's
oh
the
yeah.
point.
I'll say it again. Ice ages, do we get them now? No!
Yes, they
No,
are.
actually doing climate research and publishing in it.
Yes, they are.
I don't believe
Yes,
it.
they are.
I know people who have been affected by environmental regulations.
Yes.
I don't. I don't think.
Wow, everybody agrees on this one.
I have a very good friend. He is a trucker He was able to be successful and maintain a career for 40 years. He was stopped in that career because of claims that his diesel truck was killing people through the exhaust. There was a program in Los Angeles called the Clean Truck Program that basically put him out of work because he couldn't afford to buy a new truck. So this is the kind of environmental regulation that hurts real people, and especially here in Southern California.
I'll say also that many of the people who own homes, they're not allowed to water their lawns. Why? Because of environmental regulation laws, which are suppressing, again, suppressing the natural right.
I'm probably being dumb here, but how the fuck is as watering your plants or whatever he said, like, bad for the environment? Or whatever he said it was.
To use water.
It seems like an underlying issue with you guys is money, power, choice. And I grew up on a farm where there was a lot of regulation. Agriculture is very regulated. And then eventually there was this regulatory thing that came in called the Conservation Reserve Program, where we had to convert a part of our land to prairie. At the time, my dad was very angry because we lost money from that. But that conservation area also created a buffer between the farm fields and the water to capture eroding soils so that it didn't go into the water and decrease the water quality. So I think there's certain regulations that we need to look at more long-term, look at the bigger picture, and although we may be losing money now, we could be earning it greater in the future. We need to look at it a bigger picture.
I really like your point about the water and the regulation of water, because I can remember that from a few years ago. And the reason they put that regulation in was because the snowpack wasn't there for that year. It's not like it was a random year where the government just said, start charging people for water. It's because the effect of climate change, one of the aspects of it is that we are not seeing consistent seasons. And I completely agree with a regulation that, limits the amount of water, amount of precious resource that we have to consumers.
A regulation a lot of us didn't like when the cost of gas went up here in California, and we all had to have catalytic converters, but we've all agreed in this group that we're grateful that the air is clean like it wasn't when I was a kid, and we don't want those laws reversed because we'd be back to the smog we had when I was a kid. So those regulations may not have been great at the time, they may not have made people happy, but we've all learned to live with it, and now we're grateful.
I'd like to bring up my concern about China again. On some days, the pollution levels in China can be 10 to 50 times what they are here in Southern California. They simply assign their citizens to wear gas masks. And then they take the jobs, the manufacturing jobs that used to be in this area, have now gone to China.
I might be missing it, but are you saying that you would rather have that manufacturing be in California and that we all wear gas masks all the time? Because that regulation that we have here that makes it expensive to have manufacturing here is what keeps us safe. That is what makes it expensive.
I think you're misunderstanding me. You could bring manufacturing back, just like President Trump has done in various parts of the United States, by just making the economics work. So we can still keep the clean air, but we don't need to keep beating down. Now, some of the regulations now are more severe than they were 50 years ago. And what you need to do is talk to some of these businessmen that are faced with this on a day-to-day basis.
An eco-friendly lifestyle is expensive.
Yes, it is. I can give one example. Electric cars. They're fucking expensive because, I say this because my mum has said, because every time something gets around, we hear something on the radio about climate change and stuff, or we hear something about it. There's always stuff to talk about, like harmful emissions from cars and stuff or whatever. She's always said, like, I would get an electric car if they weren't so fucking expensive. She may not always use the exact words, but that's basically what she's saying.
We all know we're paying twice as much for gas as the rest of the country. I pay an enormous amount for energy in my little tiny one-bedroom condo. Wind and solar have been subsidized, so we've already paid a fortune for it all.
Why not put some of these regulations to a vote instead of the EPA and all the rest of these administrative arms, placing these regulations on us, taking more and redistributing more of our wealth or more of our money to pay for something that we're not even going to use or benefit from.
We shifted.
An eco-conscious lifestyle does not need to be expensive. There are incentives that are built into our policy that encourage people to live a more eco-conscious lifestyle. Because you have control over that. A lot of things we don't have control over, but you have control over how much you're buying at a grocery store and how much you're deciding to throw away. And minimize that, scale it back in all regard. In how far you're driving, in the water, in the electricity, in all the different sectors that impact climate change. So you have the decision to make of how much you're going to use, and there are direct cost savings with not being so wasteful.
I'm also an example of that. I drive an electric car, and it's not that hard in Los Angeles to get it charged. And in the future, it's going to be much easier for more and more people to have electric cars, especially as the cost of internal combustion engines keeps adding up. I spend a tremendous amount of time recycling plastic, recycling aluminum, and about every 6 months I go to the recycle yard myself, and it pays off very handsomely. Aluminum is extremely valuable. There's a lot of small choices and a lot of larger choices, and you can make those choices quite easily. I mean, our entire yard is now all drought-resistant plants.
That is your choice.
Yeah.
But what
Yes,
you're
exactly.
talking about is making choices for me.
No, you can choose to keep using water, but you're going to pay for it. You can choose to still have your green lawn. No one is coming around and saying you cannot do that, but you are going to pay for it.
Look, we can have a middle ground on this. There's a lot of people that believe in these things that are totally separate from the role of climate change. And a lot of these recycling and energy efficiency policies are very good. And I think most people would agree with them, and most of people are trying to adhere to them. I think what we're talking about, again, is the imposition, whether you force people to have drought-resistant lawns or you force people to have solar panels on their roof. I don't see any reason why people can't make choices like that on their own.
When it comes down to it, like those choices we make, what we buy, whatever we vote on, it doesn't have to be expensive. But what we're trying to do is prevent these costs from getting bigger long term. I mean, I think we just simply need to change some of our choices and be a little altruistic.
I worry about our future.
Definitely.
Yes, I definitely worry about our future. It's something I think about a lot because I watch and because I work with the data from climate science all over the country and all over the world. And I especially worry because I have 3 young sons, one of whom just has his birthday today. And I'm very worried that the planet they're going to inherit is already going to be much, much more difficult to live on than the one I inherited or one my parents gave to me.
The Constitution preamble, last part of it says, to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. I'm concerned about them having liberty, having the freedom. Some people think that we don't have the right to choose, how we should live. I mean, because you want to enforce your way of life on others.
I have 4 grandsons that I love more than life. I fear for their future that they are going to be living in a socialist country, because this is what this leads to.
Oh, for
I don't
God's
have
sake.
voice in this state at all. I have no voice.
I worry about the future because I have 4 nieces, a nephew, and I'd like to have a family of my own someday and have kids. And so I think about the future and how degraded the environment could be, or how the amount of CO2 we're putting into the air and greenhouse gases increases. But I'm hopeful because I've found that there are people living in way worse conditions than I am, and they're full of hope because they understand that they have choices, that they can work hard to make a better life for themselves. I don't know about you guys, but at least for me, I'm going to make choices that improve the environment, improve public health, and leave this place better for the future generations. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, everyone.
Natalie, why is she?
I'm not in fear. I have made the choice to not have children, and I honor that decision, and we all have that choice. And I don't operate from a place of fear. A big question that I don't know if we've addressed today or if we ever will address is who takes responsibility for the impact that we're having, because we know that we have an impact. So I just believe in using our purchasing power, our political power through our vote, through supporting policies that are going to create healthier communities and basically doing the best that we can so that we can continue to enjoy our environment now and for future generations.
Hey, everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Professor.
Very interesting
Thank
to
you,
hear
sir.
from you.
Very nice.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you.
Mother Nature, all right.
Nice meeting you.
Hey everybody, thank you for watching another.
That was it's very very interesting. I'm still, and I agree with the doctor that was on the side of the actor. Like, I'm still surprised that that woman could say that, and she could say that, climate change is a real thing. Like, there was the climate change was something along the lines, like there wasn't really any climate change before we were here, and not in the terms of like there is now, but like there was drastic climate change back before we were even here. Like I said, I don't know if you'd call it climate change, but the climate did change quite drastically in a way, like in a natural way. Like the Earth back in the day was supposed to have ice ages, and supposed to have ice caps and stuff, and now we just don't get them anymore. Admittedly, yes, there are places that do still get bloody cold and do freeze over, like America and all certain countries like very far north, but like still, it's just I heard that and I just like I just something about when I heard that, something in my brain just went just snapped. I was like, I'm sorry, hold the horses. What did you just say? But yeah, that's apart among everything. Most of the stuff was a bit more like political and that's what I know, and things that were a bit out of my range of understanding. Sort of. I mean, it's not really argument but I'm only 19 and I haven't really lived as full as some other people who I know who could probably give a better, who understand all things a lot better. Yeah, it was good. But either way, it was good. It was good. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it very much. And also, and then if you guys have any thoughts on this you'd like to give, then please in the comments right away. Let me know what you think. Again, as this is a middle ground reaction video we're doing, so please no shouting at each other about you're wrong because you think this. It's opinion. It's either what it's just what you think or whatever. No fighting. Okay, this is the comment sections on these videos are treated the exact same as they are in the videos we're watching. Completely controlled. No one's berating anyone. I don't want that. That's not why we watch these. That's not why we do it. Not to argue and berate people. No. But anyway, that is the end of that video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Again, leave a comment, but don't argue. Please. Leave a comment, leave a like. Subscribe to my channel, Sergeant Beckett. Also, I don't ever say this, but also subscribe to Jubilee. Like, they make some great videos, other than just Middle Ground that I just tend to watch. They make some other great videos that I may or may not watch other ones in the future. I don't know. They're a great channel. Go follow. Go subscribe to them. If you'd like, in the description of this video, there's a link to my link tree on the label of my stuff. On that link tree, there are things such as Instagram, other social media such as Instagram and TikTok, as well as some Discord servers, which is the Sergeant Beckett the official Sergeant Beckett Discord, and the Sergeant Beckett Media Productions Discord as well, which is home to the in development Star Trek Morning Star fan audio series that I am currently writing mine. There's also a link to the Sealed Lock website if you're interested in joining that or having a look at that. There's also my Fiverr page, just so if you need a voice actor or voice over for that or anything, or if you need a video edited for you that you can't do yourself, then head over there and give it a look. Thank you all again for watching. See you all in the next video. Adios.